But it is really cold, though. Definitely. Light flurries. Ah, I see. Light flurries. Yeah, those are definitely uneventful ones. Those are like the ones that even happen during like mostly clear days. Yeah, even though forecasters would say, "Oh no, there's not going to be any snow on the coldest days," but only like whenever there's a bit of humidity that's still there, because given that cold air doesn't hold that much water in a given space. Let's see what we got. Okay, back to my point. Humidity. There's a lot of humidity the throughout portions of New England, the Gulf Coast. A lot of it is in the Great Basin, parts of the desert Southwest. Yeah, nothing significant yet for snow. And there's also a lot of moisture all along the west coast, and even the leeward side of the Cascades too, Nevada, but just outside of Las Vegas, and just north and west of Albuquerque, and west of the Continental Divide. Oh yeah, and the Dakotas too. But let's take a look at temperatures real quick. Okay, let me see. In New England, temperatures are in the 30s to low 40s. Upstate New York and Pennsylvania, temperatures are in the 30s to mid 40s. Greater New York City area, upper 30s to upper 40s. The Mid Atlantic and West Virginia, temperatures are in the 40s to mid 50s, but it's still quite warm on the southeastern side of the region, like Virginia Beach. In the southeast, let's see what we got. Okay, so in the southeast, let's start off with Tennessee. They're in the 50s. The Carolinas, in Georgia, temperatures range from the mid 50s to low 70s. The Alabama, Mississippi area, temperatures range from the mid 50s to low 70s. Arkansas, temperatures are in the upper 50s to mid 60s. Louisiana, 70s. Florida, temperatures are in the upper 60s to mid 70s. Oklahoma, 60s, upper 50s to 60s. In Texas, temperatures are in the 60s in the Panhandle. The rest of Texas, they're in the 70s, but it's 88 in Laredo. In the Ohio Valley, you get temperatures at 40 degree in the 40s in Ohio, upper 30s to mid 40s in Indiana, 40s in Kentucky, as well as in Illinois. Michigan, temperatures are in the 30s. Wisconsin, also 30s, but to the low 40s. Minnesota, temperatures range from the upper 20s to mid 30s. The Dakotas, let's see, North Dakota, temperatures are in the low 30s to mid 40s. South Dakota, they are in the upper 30s to mid 40s. Then down the Missouri River, Iowa has temperatures that are in the upper 30s to mid 40s. Nebraska, mid 40s to low 50s. Missouri, mid 40s to mid 50s. Kansas, 50s. Just like flurries from time to time. Yeah, they happen mostly without warning. Wild, like especially during mostly clear days. Let's see what we got. Okay, so in northeastern Montana, temperatures are in the 30s, but much of the rest of the state, they're in the 40s to low 50s. Idaho, in the northern half of the state, they're in the 40s, southern half 50s. Wyoming, you have temperatures ranging from the mid 40s to mid 50s. Colorado, temperatures range from the low 50s to the low 60s. Utah, they're in the upper 30s to upper 40s. Much of Nevada, you get temperatures ranging from 37 in Ely to 50 in Elko, but in the western part of Nevada, they're in the 40s. 50s in the lower part of the state. Southern tip of the state, I should say. In New Mexico, in this northern half of the state, temperatures range from the mid 40s to low 60s. Southern half, they're in the 70s. Northern half of Arizona, temperatures range from 35 in Flagstaff to 53 in Kingman. And it's very cold up in Alpine and Flagstaff too, but it does get warm once you head west. But in the southern part of Arizona, temperatures range from the upper 60s to low 70s. Coastal California has temperatures ranging from the upper 50s to low 60s. Actually make that, statewide, much of the state, they're in the mid 50s to low 60s. But high up in the Sierra Nevadas, it's quite cold. Temperatures can go as low as about the mid to upper 40s. In the Pacific Northwest, temperatures are mostly in the ranging from the low 40s to mid 50s. Now let's take a look at rainfall accumulation in the next 24 hours. In the next 24 hours in northern New England, many parts will have rainfall estimates to be up to half an inch, plus Erie and southwest of Buffalo. It's quite dry throughout the I-95 corridor, despite the fact that we're getting wind and as well as some rain though. But I'll just put out a disclaimer at the end, as I usually do. In the south, bits of rainfall in Arkansas and Memphis could receive just about as much as about almost half an inch of rain to about 3/4 inch of rain. That goes with some parts of Missouri as well. Iowa, no rain for you, Wild. That's good. Nebraska and South Dakota, about up to an inch or two in parts of Wyoming, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, and about 1/4 inch to half an inch of rain in north central New Mexico and southwestern Utah, up to 1/4 inch of rain from the western parts of Nevada to the southern part, eastern Pacific, the eastern side of the Cascades. But in the Blue Route Mountains, it's about as much as around half an inch to 3/4 inch of rain. But on the coastal side of the Pacific Northwest, they can receive just about as much as an inch or two of rain. But going down in southwestern Oregon, all the way down towards Los Angeles, they're going to receive just about as much as about 3 to 6 inches of rain, but locally heavier amounts could be possible. But it gets worse in Northern California. San Francisco Bay Area needs to get ready. Los Angeles, you're still not out of the woods yet. Bakersfield, Fresno as well. And southern Arizona, about up to a 10 to 1/4 inch of rain. Let's see for any new snowfall totals. No snow for you, Wild. That's good for the next 24 hours, though. Snowfall could range from about 6 inches to up to a foot of snow from northern Maine all the way to the Adirondacks. Up to 3 inches of snow in western Pennsylvania, western New York. Traceable amounts of snow in the central parts of upstate New York. Eastern Michigan, it could receive just about as much as up to a full inch of snow. Traceable amounts otherwise. Western Colorado, much of Utah and Wyoming and southeastern Idaho, they could receive just about as much as up to around a foot of snow in some places. Barely any traceable amounts of snow to up to 1, 2, or 3 inches of snow. A few places like here in north central Wyoming to parts of Idaho, and even parts of the Pacific Northwest states like Washington and Oregon. So the Sierra Nevadas and Northern California could receive just about as much as around a foot or two of snow, and barely up to 3 inches of snow just northeast of Santa Barbara, though, but just south of and east of Bakersfield. Okay, so here's the big disclaimer. So, for snowfall amounts and rainfall amounts, it's best to just consult with your local weather office or your local authorities just to get the actual amounts in real time. They could be off by about a few inches to about a couple inches, or maybe there's none at all, or maybe that's off, in which case it's the opposite of what was expected to be no snow at all to about a certain inch of snow, or even rain, or freezing rain, or sleet. And that goes with real-time measurements of wind speed, wind direction, and wind gusts. These are just estimates. I do want to go back to humidity because there were special weather statements that have been issued right around here, but it has nothing to do with thunderstorms. It has to do with dry weather, but not enough to issue red flag warnings or even fire weather watches. And fog. Hardly anything in South Dakota, though, at this moment. But it'll occur a little later, but definitely some fog along the west coast. We'll go here and leave it for now. We'll be back here. Now we're going to go here to the upper part of the atmosphere. So we do have a trough just located over the Great Basin. And another one over New England. We do have a ridge over southern Texas. Which means that we're dealing with a lot of wet weather in the west. Oh yeah, there's a tiny ridge over Central California, though. Still, there's a lot of wet weather in the west coast to the Great Basin states, especially the Northern Rockies, and we are still dealing with some wet weather in many parts of the Northeast. Now let's move into tomorrow night. We do have upper level lows over Nebraska, San Francisco Bay Area, which equates to a trough. It looks like there is It kind of looks like a trough located in Olympic National Park, but it's kind of vague looking. And there is another trough just to the northeast of Maine. There is a wide ridge over the Gulf. It looks like a small ridge over the Four Corners part of the country: Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, and Colorado. Which means that there's still going to be some wet weather in places like the desert Southwest to the Northern Rockies, parts of the Pacific Northwest, and wet weather moving into the Midwest in places like the Great Plains to the mid-Mississippi Valley. Well, for you, you're not going to get much. And similarly, for Tuesday night, there's still an upper level low, just over Southern California. There's a trough over Indiana, and another trough just north of Washington State. And there is a ridge still over the Gulf. What does this mean? It means, and there's a flat ridge over the Mid-Atlantic, which means that there is going to be plenty of wet weather in the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, in the Great Plains, Northern Rockies, Desert Southwest, Texas, and as well as parts of the Pacific Northwest and the Colorado River Valley. I haven't said anything about the Desert Southwest. And finally, by Wednesday night, that upper level low starts moving slightly eastward, but becomes elongated in a north-south fashion, meaning that we still have a trough, but just over Southern California and over the Colorado River.